Let's get started with today's topic. Shocking facts about kids' behavior you never realized. Number 8. Picky eater, nightmare fuel. The kid who only ate chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs. Not just any nuggets, they had to be dinosaurs. If mom tried a regular round nugget, it was a full meltdown. That kid might not have been just going through a phase, they might have had ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. This isn't vegetables are yucky. This is I'd rather starve than eat anything not beige territory. Kids with ARFID have food requirements that make Gordon Ramsay look easygoing. Kids who can detect if their favorite crackers changed factories. Some have texture issues so intense, they categorize foods like a serial killer organizes trophies. Crunchy foods only. Nothing wet. Nothing that squishes. Then, the color coordination crew. Everything must be white or beige. A single green pea on their plate is a declaration of war. The packaging changers are classic. A kid loves a specific yogurt, eats it daily for 3 years. The company changes the cartoon on the lid. Game over. That yogurt is inedible. The fear isn't, I don't like broccoli. It's broccoli will end my existence. They look at new foods like most people look at a bear trap. Treatment involves baby steps so small. Actual babies look like marathon runners. Week 1. Look at the apple. Week 2. Touch the apple. Week 3. Smell the apple. Week 4. Lick the apple once. Immediately rinse with approved beverage. Mixed foods are out. If peas touch mashed potatoes, both are contaminated. The plate becomes a biohazard. Restaurant trips become military operations. Birthday parties are torture chambers with balloons. Well-meaning relatives try to help by saying, just try one bite. It's like asking someone with a fear of heights to just jump off the building a little bit. If you spot a child eating their 47th meal of plain rice, don't judge. They might be fighting a battle where the enemy is everything on the menu, not beige and crunchy. Before we jump ahead, take a second and click that subscribe button. Thank you. Number 7. Squirrel spy brain. The kid who spent more time staring out the window than at the blackboard. The one who knew how many birds landed on the tree outside, but not the subject. Teachers said they were in their own little world. That world had a zip code, ADHD. While everyone thought little Timmy was fascinated by clouds, his brain ran a full-scale production of the secret life of everything outside this classroom, complete with soundtrack, special effects, and a squirrel secret agent. This wasn't, I wonder what's for lunch daydreaming. This was Olympic-level mental gymnastics. Teachers could call their name 5 times. They'd still be directing their imaginary squirrel spy movie. You'd have to wave your hand in front of their face, like breaking a hypnotic trance. Teachers kept saying they were always staring out the window. They weren't choosing to ignore everyone. Their brain had its own Netflix that autoplayed. The prefrontal cortex, the brain's CEO of attention, was on permanent vacation. While the teacher explained fractions, their brain calculated a leaf's exact trajectory. This type of ADHD is the ninja of mental health conditions. Quiet, stealthy, good at hiding, especially in girls, less likely to bounce off walls. Instead, they silently battled their brain's channel surfing. Imagine trying to follow instructions when your brain keeps hitting shuffle. 1 minute math, the next wondering if fish get thirsty. It's exhausting. That kid told to get their head out of the clouds. Their head wasn't in the clouds. It was in 17 different dimensions simultaneously. Number 6. Tiny volcano tempers. The kid who lost it because their sandwich was cut into triangles, not squares, or had a meltdown because mom took a different route to school. The kid who detonated over the tiniest things. Parents whispered, just a phase. Those volcanic eruptions weren't just bad moods. Some kids have a hair trigger alarm system in their heads. These kids can have screaming, raging meltdowns several times a week, hour-long fury over being asked to turn off the TV. This continues past toddler years. These kids aren't just throwing fits to get their way. Their brains struggle to calm down once triggered. Their emotional thermostat is broken. This intense irritability can be a sign of anxiety, depression, ADHD, or autism. With kids labeled oppositional defiant disorder, ODD has 2 sides. One is rule-breaking behavior, the other is crushing irritability. That irritability has genetic links to depression and anxiety later. That defiant kid might not be defiant. They might be drowning in emotions they can't control. There might be 2 types of childhood irritability. One shows early, links to ADHD and neurodevelopmental issues. The other emerges in teen years, connects to mood disorders. Chronic irritability is a top complaint pediatric specialists hear. Parents describe kids screaming when asked to stop video games. These aren't spoiled kids. Their brains send distress signals. That kid who exploded over everything might have fought a battle nobody saw. Number 5. Voice held hostage. Alex is at home. A walking podcast. Won't stop talking. Monday. Alex walks into school and someone hits the mute button. Not a single word. The teacher asks a question. Nothing. Kids invite him to play. Silence. This isn't Alex auditioning for mime. It's selective mutism. Your phone sometimes doesn't connect to certain Wi-Fi. That's what's happening in these kids' brains. At home, full bars. At school, no signal. Anxiety hijacks their voice box. They're not choosing to be difficult. Their brain screams danger, shutting down non-essential systems. Apparently, talking is non-essential. These kids stand there looking like they're buffering. They want to answer. The words are there, but it's like trying to push a pull door. Some go their entire elementary school without saying a word in class. Teachers think they're playing the quiet game. Meanwhile, at home, these kids give TED Talks on favorite cartoons. Adults think they can fix it by saying, just say one word. It's like asking someone with a broken leg to just walk it off, or she'll talk when she's ready. These kids often develop ninja-level nonverbal communication. With the right help, these kids find their voice again. It's about making them feel safe enough that their brain stops treating talking at school as life-threatening. A kid chatterbox at home, but a statue at school isn't just stubborn. Their voice isn't on vacation. Anxiety holds it hostage. Number 4. Human fidget spinners. Fidget spinners took over the world. Kids have been doing their own version forever. Instead of plastic, they use their entire bodies. Alex watches cartoons, suddenly flapping his hands trying to lift off. His parents think he's excited about SpongeBob, but Alex's brain is running a software update. Stimming is the nervous system needing a minute, like when your computer freezes and you frantically click the mouse. Some kids rock back and forth like a human metronome. Others spin in circles until dizzy. The sound effects department, the kid who repeated the same word 47 times. It wasn't to annoy you. Their brain was hitting Control-Alt-Delete on sensory overload. For a kid, the world is loud, bright, new, and overwhelming. It's like a rock concert where the band never stops. Kids create their own control panel. Hand flapping is the volume knob. Spinning is the channel changer. That weird humming is the mute button. Some kids stare at ceiling fans like they hold universe secrets. This isn't random weirdness. It's logical. When the world gets too intense, the brain copes. It's like a built-in stress ball you can't lose. For some kids, especially those wired differently, stimming is essential, not a bug. It's a feature. It helps them focus when everything is chaos. It calms them when anxiety kicks in. Knowing when it's a phase versus something more is tricky. If Sarah spins occasionally when excited, that's one thing. If she spins so much she misses lunch, that's another. If you spot a child flapping, rocking, or making the same sound on repeat, remember, they're not weird, just human, honest about their brain's needs. Number 3. When feelings hurt. The kid always in the nurse's office Monday morning, clutching their stomach. The teacher rolled their eyes. Parents got that look. Those stomach aches were real. It's somatic symptom disorder. Emotions play dress-up as physical pain. The brain runs a game show. Wheel of mystery pain. Today, crushing headaches. Tomorrow, stomach pain like swallowing porcupines. The body hired a bad translator. Kid's brain, anxious about the math test. Body, deploying stomach cramps. Doctors run every test. Everything comes back normal. Meanwhile, the kid is doubled over. Parents think their kid is faking. These kids aren't method actors. The pain is real. The cause is in their head, not their stomach. Kids aren't PhDs in emotional expression. They can't say, "Mother, I'm experiencing existential dread." Their body freaks out inconveniently. Worry about the spelling bee results in a migraine. Symptoms change more than a teenager's TikTok interests. 1 month, stomach issues. Next month, their arm hurts for no reason. Their body plays symptom roulette. Research shows these kids often grow up with anxiety and depression. Treatment isn't just painkillers, it's teaching their brain to use words, not turn their body into an alarm. Therapy helps them say, "I'm stressed," instead of their stomach saying it. If you hear of a kid with mystery pains, remember, their body is bad at expressing feelings. Number 2, jokes as armor. The kid who turned everything into a comedy show. They'd walk into class, immediately roast the teacher's outfit. Someone drops a tray. They have jokes ready before spaghetti hits the floor. Little Jimmy wasn't just naturally hilarious. He ran an anxiety management program disguised as stand-up. Anxiety is like a fire alarm in your brain. They become the human equivalent of a circus act. Keep everyone laughing. They won't notice you're sweating. It's like being an emotional bodyguard armed with knock-knock jokes. These kids were tiny comedians with bad health insurance. They deflect attention faster than a ninja deflects throwing stars. The kid joked right after Sarah fell and broke her arm. Not great timing. Or when the teacher was serious, suddenly a joke grenade. It's like their brain had one setting. Must make funny the self-roasting. Hey everyone, look how dumb I am. A little self-deprecating humor is fine. When a kid's comedy routine is punching themselves, it's not comedy. That's their anxiety doing ventriloquism. When their jokes bombed, you could see panic in their eyes like their force field failed. They'd either double down with more jokes or shut down. Some kids couldn't turn it off. Teacher asks a serious question. Joke. Someone's crying. Joke. Laughter was emotional bubble wrap. It felt protective but wasn't fixing anything. The anxiety was still there, wearing a funny hat. If you spot a child constantly cracking jokes, check in on them. Sometimes the class clown is a scared kid with good comedic timing. Number 1, relentless rebel child. A kid who seemed to argue with their own shadow. Not just "I don't wanna," but constant simmering rage against any rule, request, or authority. The kid told to brush their teeth spends 45 minutes explaining why it's a conspiracy. This isn't just a strong-willed child. This could be oppositional defiant disorder, or ODD. A kid who for at least 6 months is almost always angry and irritable. They lose their temper over small things, seem constantly annoyed, often resentful, the arguing. They deliberately annoy people, actively defy adults, blame everyone else for their mistakes. Their default setting is fight. Sometimes they can be vindictive. Picture a tiny lawyer who never passed the bar but shows up to court daily. It's more complicated than that. Kids just bad. Kids with ODD aren't always choosing this. Sometimes it's linked to how their brain is wired. Other times it's what they've seen and learned. If surrounded by constant conflict, their behavior can reflect that. They're learning a script for interacting with the world. Their world might feel unsafe or chaotic. This constant no becomes a twisted way to feel control. They might not recognize their behavior as defiant. In their head, they're the one being picked on. For parents living with this is like walking on eggshells that are also landmines. It's exhausting. If your child has ODD, you're not a bad parent, and your child isn't a bad kid. Therapists help parents and kids understand triggers for defiant outbursts. A mom might tell her son to stop playing a video game. He explodes. If she learns stopping mid-level is frustrating, she might say, "Finish your level, then clean up." This small shift can help. Hoping they'll grow out of it is never a good idea. Untreated ODD can snowball into more serious mental health issues. These kids risk anxiety, depression, and conduct disorder. That phase of constant explosive defiance might show something deeper is wrong. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see next videos.